Hey there, welcome to the Danny Buys Houses podcast. I'm your host, Danny Johnson, coming to you from beautiful San Antonio, Texas. I love it here. Uh, and hopefully you do too. I mean, it gets really hot during the summertime, but it's just a great city. I love it a lot. Anyway, don't know why I got into that. All right. If you're behind on house payments and foreclosures looming, this episode is for you. Today, we're talking about how to avoid losing your home and your equity by selling to a cash home buyer like Danny Buys Houses. We're going to cover your options, how fast we can move, and some listener questions as well. So let's just jump right in. First things first, I'm not an attorney and this isn't legal advice. I'm a guy who's been buying houses in San Antonio for over 20 years, helping folks like you through tough spots. If you need legal help, talk to a pro, talk to an attorney. Okay? Good. Let's move on. Foreclosure is rough. There's no denying that. You're behind on payments. Situation, bad things happen to good people all the time, and people end up in situations, where, life just gets difficult and it really causes these issues, and you end up behind on the house ends up behind on house payments, and the mortgage lender sends a notice of default, and suddenly you're staring at an accelerated mortgage and foreclosure auction is looming. So it's stressful. I mean, I don't think that there could be many other things as more stressful than that, especially, to the home that you live in. So sleepless nights, phone calls from the bank, some shame in there. I've seen it hit hard, and you might lose your home and all the equity that you've built. So that's money that you've poured in that would just be gone. But it doesn't have to end that way. Now let's talk about the options, okay? One is that you could try a loan modification. You can ask the bank to change your payments a little bit to make it possible to try to get back into getting things going in the right direction. So it's slow. They don't always say yes, but it's something that you can definitely try. All right, two, a short sale. So if you owe a lot for the house and you don't think you could sell it quickly for what's owed on it, you can talk to them. You can ask them. You can ask the lender if they would be willing to take less than what is owed on your balance for the property. All right. So this could take months. We've been through this before. There's a lot of hoops to jump through, and your credit still is going to take a hit. It's not going to necessarily show that foreclosure, but it's still going to take a hit. It's not going to salvage your credit completely. And then after, even if the short sale is approved, they could file a judgment against you for the amount of money they reduced your payoff by. So if your, if your mortgage was, $200,000, they agreed to allow you to short sale it. So just take a payoff of 150,000 instead of 200,000. They could file a judgment for that $50,000 difference, saying that there's a judgment against you for that amount of money. Okay. And nobody wants to have that happen. I can't say that that happens all the time in our experience, but it could happen, and you got to know about it. Three, a deed in lieu of foreclosure. You could just hand the house back to the bank. All right, you walk away, but you get nothing, and that is an option, right? A lot of lenders will consider that. You just hand the house over and say you're just done with it. So, four, let it go to auction. Now that's the worst, right? Zero control, zero cash. Credits messed up, and all kinds of issues there. So. There is a better way though, and you know that I'm going to tell you this option because you're listening to the Danny Buys Houses podcast, but you can sell to a cash buyer. You can sell to a cash home buyer, and you probably ask me why. Well, you get to keep some of your equity, right? Or what's left of it. You can skip the auction nightmare. In pre-foreclosure, you still have time to act. We buy your house as is, pay cash, and close fast. That's the key thing, is closing fast. And you get money in your pocket instead of losing everything, right? Um, Sometimes there's not a whole lot of time, and you got to be careful about who you're selling to, right? You could decide, hey, yeah, I will sell to a cash home buyer because I want to move fast, sell it as is, and have it all done. Well, you got to make sure that the home buyer that you choose is a legitimate home buyer. So whether you go with Danny Buys House or someone else, please do your homework on them. Do a search for their business name on Google. Look for reviews on Facebook, on Google, and are they Better Business Bureau accredited? Find out if there's reviews there. Just check them out, right? You can even go as far as asking each cash home buyer that you talk to, who closes their deals, which title company, which closer, get their contact information, talk to them. Have they actually been closing deals there, or have they had to walk away from deals where they didn't close? You want to get that information because, the situation requires you to do a little bit of homework to make sure things are going to go well. And, you don't want to end up in a situation where they don't close and then auction is in 2 days. And then, what are you going to do? Right? Like that's not cool. So, all right. How does it work? Well, you call us 210-881-7707, or you hit us up at DannyBuysHouses.com. Fill out that fast cash offer form, fast cash offer form, and we'll schedule an appointment, check out your house. And regardless of whether there's any problems with the house, like foundation problems, you got old roof, AC problems, plumbing issues, it doesn't matter. We make a fair cash offer based on its value, what repairs are going to be required, and no repairs, no waiting. You can have that house sold. So speed is key here, right? Foreclosure moves quick in Texas, sometimes just 21 days after the notice of default. We can close in a week or even several days if we have to, right? We've done it before. I worked with a guy a couple years ago. His house was set for auction the next week. We met, made an offer. He agreed. We got the purchase agreement signed and got to the title company right away. Rushed that title search and we closed in I think it was like 3 days. Paid off the bank, pocketed a little cash, and avoided all the mess. And so that's what we do. We step in when the time bomb is ticking and help to alleviate that, put that thing out. So. Selling to us isn't about getting rich. It's about saving what you can. If you've got no equity or you owe more than it's worth, we can still help. We negotiate with the lender or take it off your hands so that you're free. Either way, you are not stuck, okay? There's things that can be tried, and we talked about some of those earlier in the podcast episode. All right, let's jump into some of the listener questions that we've got from listeners to the Danny Buys Houses podcast. The first one here, I got a foreclosure notice. How fast can you buy? This is from Maria in San Antonio. Maria, we can move in days, like we just mentioned, 3 if it's an emergency, or sometimes maybe even 2. It gets real tough. Tell us your auction date. We can beat it, and you can keep some equity and skip the stretch. Just reach out to us. The next one is my. All right, next one. My house needs repairs. Does that kill my equity? That's Mike in Leon Valley. Hey, Mike. Nope. We buy as is, leaky roof, foundation issues, whatever. Your equity is tied to the value, not the shape. Obviously we got to, buy it less because we got to take care of those repairs, but we still figure it out and make it work. So, the best thing to do is just reach out to us, let us take a look at it, take a look at the situation, get some more information, and then, figure out what we can offer you and see if that works out with how much equity, you've got and what the payoff is for the loan and all that stuff. So just reach out to us. We can see. All right, Mike. All right, last one here we got. Can I sell it if I owe more than it's worth? This is from Linda in Alamo Heights. Hey, Linda, no, sorry. You might be able to do a short sale with your lender that we talked about earlier in the episode or find a way to settle it. You're not going to get cash though, but you'll dodge the foreclosure if you can make that work. So you can reach out to us. We can point you in the right direction of who to talk to and how to work out with that though, if you find that that's the case for you. All right. If anybody else has any more questions, send them over. I'm here for you. Now, let's see here. If you're ready to avoid foreclosure, like I said, here's a start. Go to DannyBuysHouse.com, find that fast cash offer form. It takes about 2 minutes to fill out. Tell us about your house, how much you owe, where you're at with the payments. Submit it. We'll give you a call, schedule an appointment to come see the house and make you an offer, and then we can go from there. We visit your house. We come to an agreement, we get that to the title company. Title company does all the paperwork, so there's nothing you have to worry about with that. And there's no cost to you. There's no fee for us going out there making an offer, and no obligation for you to take the offer. So you can always say no if you don't want to. All right. I know foreclosure feels like a freight train coming at you. I've seen folks cry thinking it's over. It's not. I started anybody's houses to help people out with problems like this. So if you're behind on payments, facing the worst, imagine no auction, no eviction, just cash and a fresh start. That's what we're about here. We can help you do that most times. All right, head over to DannyBuysHouse.com, fill out that fast cash offer form, and let's talk. I'm Danny Johnson. I've got your back, San Antonio. All right, thanks for tuning in, everyone. Share this with someone facing foreclosure. They need it. Next time, we're going to tackle. Uh, let me see. What is next time? What are we going to tackle here? Just give me 1 second. Next time we're going to tackle, current San Antonio real estate trends. So tune in, don't miss that. This is Danny Johnson saying take care. Let's stop that foreclosure. See you soon.